Hi, boys and girls.
We're at our garage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out the door today. Yeah, looks like Chevy sent us a nice big double cab Silverado 4x4. Gorgeous red metallic paint job. Looks nice. In fact, the redesign they've done on this truck looks pretty good. There are 3 gasoline engines offered in the Chevy 1500. On the top you have a 6.2 liter V8 putting out 420 horsepower, torque rating of 460. Then you have the small block V8 5.3 liters, 355 horsepower, torque rating of 383 pounds-feet. But under the hood we have neither of those. How about a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder engine? Yep, in this big truck. It is a turbo, however. Been beefed up for 2022, 310 horsepower. With a torque rating of 420 pounds-feet. That's more than the 5.3 V8. Its main competitor is the Ford 2.7 EcoBoost, putting out 325 horsepower and 400 pounds-feet of torque. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, let's talk about fuel economy. And here's the window sticker, 17 mpg in the city, 20 on the highway, and 18 overall. So I'm going to go to my office and get on the computer and see how this compares to other engines in the Chevy lineup and some of the ones in the Ford competitors as well. By the way, here's where the truck is made for those who care about that stuff. And if you order the 2.7 liter turbo, apparently you get a $1,500 credit over the 5.3 V8. Alright, going down the line, the Chevrolet 2.7 liter, also available in the GMC truck. 17 in the city, 20 on the highway, average 18. And on a 4-wheel drive Silverado or GMC Sierra with a 5.3 liter V8, 14 and 19 mpg with a total of 16 average. And on the 4-wheel drive GMC Sierra, which is basically the same truck as the Chevrolet 1500, with a larger 6.2 liter engine, 4-wheel drive, 14 and 18 mpg with an average of 16 mpg. And the direct competitor for the 2.7 liter Chevrolet Turbo 4 is the Ford 2.7 Turbo 6. Same displacement, a little more horsepower, a little less torque. And in a double cab 4x4, 19 to 24 with an average of 21 mpg. I think it's raining outside. The roof is starting to come off. Oh well, let's continue on. This brings us to the truck's mileage computer. This vehicle was delivered with 250 miles on the clock by my previous driver. I put on around, 13 miles or so. And in city driving, averaging 30 miles per hour, 14.3 mpg. Interesting. So let's reset this to 0. And I'll do some real driving and see what type of real figure we get. So don't go away. By the way, in addition to the Chevrolet Silverado 1500, General Motors also sent us a GMC Sierra, around 76 grand worth of truck. And it has the monster 6.2 liter V8. We'll be doing a road test on this and posting the video in about a week, so subscribe so you don't miss it. By the way, Chevy redid this vehicle recently. Gave it a new interior, nice large glove box, simple climate controls, nice info screen, a very nice gauge cluster. Well, we'll check this out later. There's one feature I do not like about this truck right off the bat. If you do not fasten your seat belt, it won't shift out of park and the truck won't move. I'm thinking maybe I can reprogram it to go away, but you're using your truck out in the farm, getting in and out, baling hay and checking gates. You don't have time to do your seatbelt all the time, and I don't think I like this feature. And yes, we'll be taking these headlights out in the dark later on the video, see how they perform. By the way, this is a 4x4 rig, made to be taken off the pavement, but I can't do that because apparently this is a show truck and it's going to some big truck show or something. They don't want any scratches or gravel under the hood, so street driving only for this video, folks. And starting with the power steering, far better feeling feedback than previous Silverados. When it comes to comfort in the ride quality department, the Chrysler Ram truck has always been king compared to its competitors, but the others are catching up. Let's see if the Chevy guys have been catching up. We'll take some speed humps at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Let's see how the suspension performs on impact. Here comes hump number 1. And keep in mind, this only pertains to these particular wheels, tires, and the suspension setup. Chevy does offer other suspension combinations that may not be the same as this. Pretty comfortable thus far, though. And here's the nasty speed bump. Felt a little bit, but not much. Overall, pretty comfortable. This motor has plenty of torque, and if you handed someone the keys and didn't tell them what was under the hood, they might think it's a V8 as far as acceleration goes, but once they hear the whirring noise underneath, you'll know it's a 4-cylinder right away. It runs like a V8, but it sounds like what it is, a 4. Alright, let's do a 0 to 60 run. Nice brakes. One thing I've noticed when driving on a sunny day is how the sun reflects off these shiny chrome parts. I don't understand why manufacturers want shiny chrome in their cabins. We're not picking on Chevy here. There's a bunch of other brands that do this, especially the Germans. Very annoying. Okay, turns out you can get rid of the buckle to drive feature. And we'll be getting rid of that in a big hurry on the menu. And while I'm at it, I'll just disconnect all the automatic so-called safety features, automatic braking, automatic steering, stuff like that. I know how to drive. I don't need the truck driving for me, thank you very much. Alright, what we've been waiting for, a nice highway trip of about 100 miles. We're going to see what the real fuel economy is. So don't go away. Well, I was getting 21 mpg with the cruise control on, but I did a lot of passing and it dropped down to 19 for my 111 mile trip. And on my second trip, keeping it around 65 miles, 64.9, 25.6, but I didn't go very far, so we're kind of cheating here. So what's my take on this Silverado after a week of driving? Well, I have 3 things to say. Number 1, I'm definitely impressed with this truck. Far better than previous models, especially in ride comfort and cabin design. Thumbs up for me. Number 2, my official fuel economy number is 15 in the city, 17 in mixed commuting, and 21 mpg at 75 mile per hour cruising. And my take on this 2.7 liter turbo 4. Well, it's definitely a better engine than the V6 that's been discontinued. We make a nice little motor for a light-duty 2-wheel drive work truck. As far as replacing the V8, actually the only advantage I see is the $1,500 price difference. And if you're going to spend 50, 60 grand for a truck, I don't think you're going to worry too much about spending an extra $1,500 for a 5.3 liter V8 over this turbo 4. Bottom line, there is a place for the 2.7 liter turbo engine, but if I want to get a truck loaded up with everything, I think I'll just go for the V8 myself. But as always, the choice is yours. That concludes the truck test. Now we got our bonus footage, the night drive and headlight test. Okay, it's dark enough. Let's check out these lights. Right now they're on low beam. Only the bulb on the right is glowing. Now turn on the high beams and they're both lit up. Look pretty bright to me thus far. Well, giant tail lights, that's for sure. Not the brightest license plate light I've ever seen, but it will do. And here we got the emergency flashers being drowned out by the bright headlights. Yeah, the rears are definitely easier to see. And even more so with the tail lights off. Wow, very bright in the front now that the headlights are off. Definitely bright. So if you need to put your emergency lights on, best to turn your headlights off, unless you're driving, of course. And put the transmission in reverse, and here's what we see on the screen. Pretty big screen. As we can see, the rest of the controls light up okay. Gauge cluster lights up pretty good in the dark. Alright, have the low beams only while 33 yards away, or 100 feet. Decent brightness. Height, just above the bushes. Adequate. Now we go to high beam, definitely strong in the middle. Alright, here in the city streets, got the low beams on. High beams, definitely strong in the middle. Low beams, just adequate. And I see we have some cargo lights on the side panel here. However, the cargo light on the roof here, apparently they're not hooked up. I can't get them to turn on. This is a prototype truck though. And I have a lot of stuff that's not hooked up, like air-conditioned seats, heated seats. It's the only production vehicle made for show, not for go. If you watch my videos, you know I cannot stand auto-dimming mirrors, especially if they don't have a disconnect switch, but don't have to worry about that here because it's a simple manual mirror. Darken, lighten. That's the way I like it. Auto-dimming mirrors are available on this truck if you want it though. Alright, let's take these lights out on the highway. Definitely light up the road signs if you put the brights on, but traffic's pretty heavy now. Don't know if I want to be doing that too much. On, off. Alright, rating the headlights. The brights are excellent. The low beams are more than adequate. Overall, let's say the headlights pass. No serious complaints. Oh, now the cargo lamps want to come on. They didn't before. Oh well. Now the whole bed's lit up. And that's what we want, right?